Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with thepigsite.com, and today we're here with Lisa Becton. She is the Director of Swine Health and Information and Research at the National Pork Board. Thanks for being with us today, Lisa.
Thank you.
We're here at the North American PRRS Conference, and PRRS is obviously still an existing big problem, not only in the U.S. but globally. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that not just the pork board is doing, but that you're seeing in the industry?
Right. PRRS is probably one of the #1 domestic diseases that we see and that producers face. And so it is a big concern because it's something that does get to be a very severe challenge for pork producers. And so meetings like this help to get new and recent information out of what's going on, both for vaccine development, understanding the virus, and coming up with solutions of how, if a farm does break, how do we address that and deal with that? And so from Pork Board, we've been continuing to research the PRRS virus and supporting efforts to do that. And so other entities are also doing research and really looking at the virus. So it's a very coordinated effort to try to understand and come up with solutions for this really frustratingly present virus.
And are you expecting any big news breaks here at the event? I know there's a lot of research. This is researchers talking to researchers here.
You know, there is always a ton of new information because as our knowledge continues to evolve, I think a lot of people get very excited about new ways to try to, again, manage the virus. And so that is always something I look forward to, and I think producers and veterinarians and researchers do as well.
Very good. And this meeting is called the North American PRRS Conference, but it's certainly evolved over time to include some emerging diseases. Can you tell us what are you guys looking at here in the U.S. as emerging diseases?
You know, we've had several over the years. Obviously, PED is probably the biggest one that people come to mind, and that occurred in 2013. And it still does give us some issues here in the North America. And so that's something obviously that we're very concerned about. Also, Seneca Valley virus or Seneca A virus, that one has also had a reemergence back in 2015. But also we're concerned about obviously things like African swine fever, especially with the infection announced last year in China. But we're always concerned with things like classical swine fever and foot and mouth disease virus because those also can affect pigs.
Right. And when you are thinking about, you know, the preemptive things that producers can do against, I know this is a broad range of diseases, but what are the things that producers should be thinking about when they're thinking about some of these emerging diseases that are even foreign animal diseases?
Correct. You know, there are a lot of things producers can do immediately. Really, one of the biggest is going to be adhering to basic biosecurity. And so, you know, monitoring people that come in and out of your farms, making sure any incoming animals have been through an isolation and testing to make sure you're not bringing things in. But another one that's hugely important is looking at sanitation of vehicles, both farm vehicles, personnel vehicles, feed trucks, live haul trucks. Adequate cleaning and disinfection is really, really important on those vehicles, as is in the farm. From the research side of it, what we're really trying to focus on is accurate and timely diagnosis, because obviously we can't act on a disease if we don't know it's there.
Right.
And so that's something really as an industry all together, again, is a very coordinated and collaborative effort. Other things are looking at vaccines and other mitigants for these type viruses, and so that's also ongoing work.
And it is one of the things that I'm always amazed with here is there are competitors sitting side by side in these rooms wanting to work together.
That's true, because, you know, these issues are really bigger than any one group or entity or organization. And even us as National Pork Board, we have finite amounts of funds. And so that's why we always seek out other partners and work with other collaborators, because we may be working on one focus area and yet another group may also be working on a different focus area. So when we merge those two together, we have the ability to really cross a larger cross-section of dealing and addressing these diseases.
Yeah, it feels like the swine industry does a really nice job of collaboration between university
Sure.
and companies, and it's helped really progress the industry in some ways.
I think we have a fantastic effort amongst everyone. And yes, there's some business things that go along with it. But overall, I have found over the years that everybody works really well together because, again, we know a lot of these problems are bigger than any one group can ever face. And to pool our resources and merge those together make the most sense to help benefit producers overall.
And it does seem like there's a lot of technology that's helping to, to get rid of the gaps, I guess.
Yes, there is. And that's another thing, because if there's things that we can do to make producers' lives easier and still address disease, yes. And that's very important because, again, we've all got finite time and finite resources, but if we can find ways to make things easier, that is really important.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for all the information today, Lisa.
Thank you.
This is Sarah Meichel with the Pig Site.